Hello, everyone. My name is Jo Dunning, and I am so delighted to be together tonight for this workshop, The 5 Energy Processes. You know, it's time now in our world for all of us to have an opportunity to really begin to make the changes in our lives that we'd like to make. And these 5 processes, I believe, can be used in most situations that you might encounter. And the goal is that you will have a tool that you can use whenever you would like to assist yourself in your life. And also, you can share this download with others, and the energy will still be active, and it can assist others. So if you enjoy doing that, if you are someone who likes to assist with the well-being of others, or you want to help with the transformation of consciousness in our world, feel free to share this with others, and then they have a way to begin to really make changes in their life as well. So what we'll be doing during this workshop are 5 energy processes. So let me tell you a little bit about the energy. This energy comes directly from Source to you. And it will assist you in each of these 5 different ways, as long as you know the energy is there and you'd like to have the assistance. So you can have this playing all day if you'd like to in the background. And if others are there and they know that the energy is on the recording and they'd like to participate in the processes, they're welcome to do that, and the energy will be there for them as well. If someone just happens to walk through the room and they don't know about the processes or the energy, then it won't be affecting them. So in this way, we are deeply honoring each individual's free will and their right to choose if they would like to have this kind of assistance in their life. So the energy comes from Source to you. And the word that I like to use is source, although many people have your own word for that great energy, that great power. Some people have it identified as a great being. The energy comes from that place to each one of us to enliven us and to give us our life. And so my name for that is Source. And so this energy is here to serve you and will be available on the download so that it can continue to serve you for as often as you would like to use the recording. And the more often you use the recording, the more change and transformation you can experience. So it's really a wonderful way of receiving ongoing. And should you decide that you'd like to send this to others, and if you happen to be someone who has received this then as a gift from someone, you might want to just hold for a moment a thought of a gratitude for whoever it was that sent it to you. And in this way, we are all assisting each other in our lives, in feeling happier, in becoming more abundant and prosperous, and in beginning to create the world that we would all like to live in, and the connection and the caring that is there for each one of us. So the 5 energy processes include, the first one is to bring financial prosperity to your life. So you would use this process then when you would like to have a greater income or some special finances to take care of an expense that just came up, or a gift you want to buy, or a vacation. So whenever you need additional finances, you could play this first process and help bring more financial prosperity into your life. The next process that we'll do is to create body comfort. And body comfort is really important. When we have a very strong, flexible, vibrant, vital physical body, then we feel great. We have lots of energy. We're comfortable. We can live life to the fullest, and we can live life in the ways that we would really like to do that. And so the second process is to assist us with the physical body and any of the ways in which we would like our body to have more comfort. And I use the word comfort very generally. So this would be energy or mental focus or greater, better vision or greater hearing, or a whole variety of different things that relate to the physical body. And then the next process will be to become happy and peaceful. Now, I really like this process because we all have situations come up in our life when we are not feeling happy and peaceful. Maybe we're feeling concerned or worried or irritated or upset, or perhaps we've just had something disappointing happen in our life. So any of those times when we have those feelings that are other than happy and peaceful, you could use then this third process, and that will assist in restoring the balance to your being. So it will help on the physical level if that's needed, but it will also help on the mental and the emotional levels as well, so that you can restore that sense of well-being on all levels and have that awareness of happy and peaceful. And then the fourth process that we'll be doing is called Fix Something Broken. Now, Fix Something Broken is a really fun way to use energy. And of course, it could apply to something that actually is not working right, like perhaps your computer or your cell phone or your printer, or some people might want to try it on their car if it's not starting or not running well, or maybe a bicycle or a toy got broken, or something actually got broken, or meaning it's not working right. But then beyond that, there are other things that we may consider that we call broken, like a broken heart, or a broken agreement, or some other way in which we look at something that is no longer together the way it was intended. It would be interesting to see how this assists with perhaps something like a broken bone. So this process then is to help fix something broken. And you can begin to get the idea of how many ways each one of these processes could be applied to your life. And then the final process that we're doing will be to solve a problem. And this particular process is very generic, so to speak. You can use it in so many ways. Anything that you consider to be a problem, which would be a concern or a worry or something you want different, anything that you consider a problem, you could use this last process for, which is solve a problem. And so there are all kinds of things that come up in our life in every category that we might consider a problem, and you could use this last process, solve a problem, to assist you in that particular area. And this could be used then, maybe you've got something challenging coming up at work, or if you happen to be in school, maybe something coming up at school that's challenging. You could use this process then before you go into that situation to assist you, to help get you in a balanced place so that you are really at your prime and able to really function at a much higher level. Or maybe you might have some relationship challenges, or maybe even there's something in your personality, a little personality quirk or a unwanted habit, something like that that you consider problematic to you or you prefer not to have. Then you could use this last solve a problem on that kind of a situation. Maybe even weight loss or low self-esteem, or perhaps you need to do some public speaking, or you have a fear or a phobia, those kinds of things. Those you could consider problems, something that is challenging for you. And so this last process of solve a problem can be used in a wide variety of ways. And so when you want to have a little extra boost in your life, then consider using one of these processes, one of the 5 energy processes, to help yourself out. And you can go individually, say you have one specific thing that's just happened in your life or that you want to address. You could go to a specific process and play that. and focus just on that one process, on that one condition in your life. So you could use each process individually anytime you feel like using it. Anytime you can have it accessible to you. And another way to use the download or the recording would be to have it just kind of playing in the background all day long. Because if you know the energy's there and you would like to have the change taking place, then a portion of your consciousness can be addressing that each one of the processes as they come up. So a portion of your consciousness could be addressing items in your life. And so you would have that ongoing clearing during the day. And similarly, at night, you could play this recording quietly in the background while you're sleeping. And again, you would have the same kind of a situation, since you know the energy's there and you would like to have your the clearing taking place, then a portion of your awareness would be aware of that recording going and participating with it, even though you might be asleep. And as I mentioned earlier, you are welcome to share this with others. So maybe during the day there are several people in the room where you're working, and you would all like to be receiving the clearing. So that's just fine. That can work for each one of you as you're right there together. So there are many ways that you could really enjoy using the download of the 5 energy processes to really help your life, and also to have an impact in the world. If you're so called to serve in that way, now you have a specific tool, along with whatever else you might know to offer to the world. You have this specific tool, this download that you can send on to others and assist them in their lives. So the download can continue to circulate and continue to be passed on, so that another person and another person and another person can benefit from your generosity of wanting to be a part of this workshop, and your generosity of having sent it to someone else, and they in turn then will be passing it on to others. So you are the agent of change, and you step into that role when you send this on to others, and you are assisting them in their lives. And that's a very high level of service if your heart is called to do that. It's a remarkable way to do it. It's a real statement of generosity, and you're giving to others then, which is one of the very high levels of service. So let's move right into the very first process, and I'll explain right now what you will do during each process. And whenever you use the recording, this is what you will do if you want to participate directly and fully consciously. This is what you'll be doing. So for each process, like bring financial prosperity, we will sit quietly while the energy comes through, and you focus on the ways in which you would what's going on in your life with financial prosperity and what you would like to have. So you can just focus on that and just bring it to mind. And so you can have then the energy addressing financial prosperity for you. And you can either think about the problems you have with prosperity right now, or you can think about a specific item that you would like to receive, so that you could perhaps buy a gift for someone, or pay a bill, or purchase something that you'd like to have. So you can focus on it. The more specific you can be, the more specific and focused on a particular item you can be during each process, the greater the channel of energy to that one item can be. So rather than being very broad in each one of the processes, you might want to be more specific about what is it you want, or what is it that bothers you. And the reason I suggest being more specific is that you have the download. So you can play it as often as you want, and you can have an opportunity then to cover many specific items. And so when we're doing a process then, say for example the first one, bring financial prosperity, you'll bring an item to mind about prosperity, financial prosperity, and we'll sit quietly for a couple of minutes while you focus on this idea of financial prosperity. And then that's when the energy from Source is coming to you to assist with making the change so that you can have that piece of financial prosperity that you would like to have. And that's the process that we'll use on each one of these 5 energy processes. That's the steps that we'll go through. We'll mention the process. You'll bring to mind what it is that you want to have different or how you want it to be. Either way, you can do it. And then you just sit quietly and think about it while the energy is coming to you. And then we'll stop. We'll sit quietly for 2 or 3 minutes probably, and then we'll stop and we'll go on to the next process. And then you can come back on your own to each one of these different processes and just play one of them if you want to, just the specific one you need right then. Or you might choose to come back and play through all 5 of them again, or as I mentioned, let the recording play quietly in the background. So let's just review a little bit before we do this first process about financial prosperity. So this process is great to use when you need some extra finances to pay for something in your life. So maybe it's something very basic like food or the rent or fix your car, or then maybe it's something that's a little more of a luxury like take a vacation or purchase something or give someone a gift. Or maybe you want to go back to school or take a class or do something educational for yourself. Or maybe you need some extra finances to take care of some health concern or perhaps go to the dentist. So whatever it is, when we do this process, you would focus on one item that you would like to have more financial prosperity for. And we will just sit quietly for a couple of minutes while you focus on that item. And we'll do that then, and then we'll go on to the next process. So this first process, we're going to do it now. This first process is bring financial prosperity. And I would like you to bring to mind something that you would like to have financial prosperity for, or something that is bothering you about your financial prosperity right now. So you can do it either way, or you can think about what's bothering you, and then you can think about what you'd like, as long as you're focusing more specifically on that one item. And we will sit quietly for a couple of minutes in just silence while you think about that one item. All right, so let's begin. We'll begin right now, and you can begin to focus on that item called financial prosperity. Let's start now. Okay, very nice. So now bring your attention back. And you can come back to that particular process whenever you'd like to and play it again and focus on another item. So let's go on to the second of the 5 energy processes. The second one is create body comfort. Now, this is a very broad category, very broad. So sometimes you may have some areas of your body that feel uncomfortable. Maybe you feel a little bit like you're getting a cold or the flu, or you have a headache. Maybe you're just restless and you can't sleep. Perhaps you're feeling very low energy and you need a little more energy to take care of whatever activities you have. Or maybe you're having a digestion problem, or you have some sore joints or an allergy, or maybe you're just too hot or too cold, or maybe you have a bruise or a cut or a scrape, or you've sprained your ankle, or any whole variety of things that cause discomfort in your physical body. And so this second process is to assist you on a physical level, and especially that area that I mentioned, which is to have more energy. Very often we just feel like we just don't have enough energy to complete everything that we would like to complete. And we also could use this process if we want to have greater, perhaps improve our memory or have greater mental focus, or be able to use language more easily, or a number of things that have to do with how we're functioning. And so speaking or language or memory, recall, those kinds of things also fall in the same category then with create body comfort. So once again, we will do this process, and you'll bring to mind an area of body comfort that you would like to have different. And you can either think about how you would like it to be different, or you can think about how it is right now that you're not enjoying. Either way is just fine. And we'll sit quietly for a couple of minutes while you bring to mind what it is that you would like different about your body comfort. And the reason you bring this to mind and focus on it is that you are showing the source energy what it is you would like to have addressed. And so that's why I'm suggesting that you focus on one item rather than many items, to focus more on one item, and you'll get a much greater focus of energy then towards that one item. So if you would bring to mind then the item that you've chosen for create body comfort, and we'll sit quietly for just a couple of minutes while the energy comes to you to begin making the changes for you. All right, let's begin now. All right, good. And bring your attention back. And during the time that we're sitting quietly, if you are thinking about this one item and you can't think of any more things about it, you can think again about the same things again. You can bring that up and review them one more time to fill in the space while we're sitting quietly. All right, so now let's do the third of the 5 energy processes. And the third process is become happy and peaceful. Now this is a great process because we have many times during our day when we feel other than happy and peaceful. Often we feel hurried, or we might feel stressed, or perhaps overworked. Or maybe we feel like we're just behind schedule, or maybe we're actually late for something, late getting to an appointment or getting to work or getting wherever it was that we wanted to be. Perhaps we're late somewhere. Or maybe we're just upset about something. Maybe things haven't gone real well for us and we're upset. Or perhaps we're stuck in traffic, which can be frustrating. Or maybe we just feel like we have too many responsibilities right now. Or maybe just not enough time to do everything. And, sometimes we also feel just lost or confused. We don't really know what to do next or how to really move ourselves back into that happy, peaceful place where we can be productive and we can resolve things more easily. So we may be a little lost or confused, and sometimes someone's hurt our feelings. Or maybe we're feeling alone or lonely or just feeling kind of down and lacking motivation. Anything that has to do with other than the feeling of happy and peaceful, other than the feelings that we enjoy having, then this would be a great process to use. Become happy and peaceful. So if you would bring to mind now something that you would like to, that's going on for you, that you would like to feel happy and peaceful instead, if you would bring that to mind. And we can do the process. Or again, if you just want to think about feeling happy and peaceful, what you would like to have, that's also possible. Either way. So again, we'll sit quietly for a couple of minutes while you bring this item to mind and you're thinking about it, which helps direct the source energy specifically to the item that you would like addressed. All right, let's begin now. Bring your item to mind. Let's start. All right. Very nice. And bring your attention back again. And let's move on now to the third of the 5 energy processes. And this one is fix something broken. And this process is fun because there are so many things that we can begin to change to assist it to function better by using this process. So fix something broken is a process you would use when something just doesn't work the way that it should work, like it would usually work. And you can use this process then to help restore it back to its right way of functioning. And so, as I mentioned, you could use this on electrical devices that may not be working properly right then. Maybe your computer has crashed, or your cell phone isn't working, or your printer isn't working properly, or your car. Maybe your TV or remote controls or toys or appliances. All of those kinds of things are things that you can use, fix something broken process to assist it. And as I mentioned, though, there are also other things that we consider broken, like a heart or a promise. And this can also be used then to help restore whatever it was that felt like it had was no longer functioning the way it was supposed to, that this can help restore it then and fix something broken. So there's quite a broad spectrum of ways that you can use this particular process. All right, so once again, if you will bring something to mind that is broken, that you would like to have function back the way that it normally functions, so restore it back to proper functioning. If you'll bring that to mind during the time that we're sitting quietly, then the energy will come to you to help address that specific item. All right, so bring your item to mind, and we'll sit quietly now for a couple of minutes. Let's begin. All right, and bring your attention back again. And let's do now the fifth of the 5 energy processes. And the name of this process is solve a problem. And of course, we all are aware that there are many times in life that we feel like we have a problem. And it doesn't have to be a big problem. It can be even a small concern or anything that you would like to begin to change. And so this process really could be the master process because it is so adaptable. It can be used on almost any of the situations in life because many things come up that we consider to be a problem. So this one is a very, very versatile process. And so you might want to use this solve a problem if you are needing to maybe communicate with someone and you're being challenged by how to handle it or the best way to say something. Maybe you have misplaced something and you want to find it and it's creating a problem for you. You could use this process. Maybe you have a pet that you're trying to housebreak and you're having difficulty with that and it's creating a problem. So you could use this process for it. Maybe your body weight is not what you'd like and you'd like to gain some weight or lose some weight and you consider that a problem or a concern for you. So you could use this process for it. So there's just many, many areas. If you're in school, you could use this process. You can use it in relationships if you're having a challenge in a relationship, or if you have anything in your personality that you would like to have different, you could use this process. Maybe you are too organized or too needing to be in control. So you could use this process to assist you in becoming more balanced. Or maybe you need to be a little more organized or perhaps a little more responsible about certain things. So you could use this process to assist you with that. So this solve a problem is a really wonderful, versatile process that can be applied to many, many situations in life. So let's do this one then. This one is solve a problem. And once again, you'll bring to mind something that you would like assistance with solving, changing, making different. And you can either think of what's going on right now that's the problem for you, or you can think of how you would like it to be, either way, or you can think a little bit of each of those, what it's like and how you'd like it to be. Any of those approaches are just fine. And once again, with these processes, I suggest that you select one item so that you can be very specific about having just one item. And then the energy can really focus on that item and help to make the changes that you'd like to have. So if you would now think of an item that you consider to be a concern or a problem for you, and we'll do this 5th process called solve a problem. Let's begin now. Bring your item to mind and just think about it. All right, let's begin. All right, great. And bring your attention back now. So we have done the 5 energy processes. Bring financial prosperity, create body comfort, become happy and peaceful, fix something broken, and solve a problem. Now you have these 5 wonderful tools that you can use anytime you would like to assist yourself in your life. And you can share this with others. You can pass this link on to friends or family or whomever you would like to pass it on to, so that they also can begin to have this wonderful tool to assist them in their lives. And if you'd like to learn anything more about using source energy to help making changes in your life, then you're welcome to go to our website, joedunning.com, and read more there. You can learn more about it. So I want to thank each one of you for being the great light that you are already in the world, and your desire to assist yourself and others and change consciousness, and your willingness to perhaps see if you are moved to pass this on to others so that they also can begin to change their lives. Each one of you is such an amazing being, and you are here right now in this world, and we are each here with a specific role to play as we awaken and the world awakens, and we move into this magnificent time of great prosperity and great abundance and magnificent opportunities. And I want to thank each one of you for the role that you're playing in assisting everyone in the world to have the wonderful opportunities that are now becoming available to each one of us as our divine birthright. So my love to each one of you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being present in our world and sharing your love. And goodbye for now.